everybody to our session. It is a Link Coffee format, and thanks for coming, for joining, for watching us through YouTube streaming. And the very first thing that I'd like to ask you to do, it is to go through this short link that will follow you to the Trello board which will be used by us today in order to facilitate our discussion. So please make sure you've got a Trello account and join the board. And while I'm explaining other steps, please add your topic if you didn't yet. So yeah, I'd like to introduce you the Link Coffee format. If you don't know what is it, it's pretty simple and very efficient way to take a break with your colleagues and professionals. So the standard Link Coffee format goes with collecting topics into one board or maybe a Kanban board, and then but we decided to just to save time collect them in advance, so everybody who took an active part in our session already posted their cards on this Trello board. So the next thing we'll do is voting for the most interesting topics for you. Then we'll sort them out by the votes number, and then we will discuss it with our experts, which I'll yield a floor a little bit later. And each topic, once the time goes out, we vote another time if we keep discussion or proceed with another topic from the list. And yeah, our experts are here. It is Nikolai and Maxim, and now I'm yielding the floor to Nikolai. Please introduce yourself and give us some information about you.
Okay, hi everyone. So my name is Nikolai Lube. I've been working in EPAM since 2016, but in business analysis since 2006. So during this time, actually, yeah, my title in EPAM is Chief Business Analyst, but I played very different roles in the project. So currently, I'm a delivery manager on one of EPAM project. Before I was working as a Scrum Master, project manager, product owner. Yeah, I changed a lot of different roles, but I'm very passionate still about business analysis in general, and I'm passionate about lean, agile way of doing things. But at the same time, yeah, I had some experience working in more traditional software development life cycles like waterfall. So yeah, I think that's it about myself.
Thank you so much, and we'll proceed with Maxim. Hello, Maxim.
Thank you, Pavel. Hi, everybody. I'm Maxim. I work as a senior product manager in EPAM. I have total of 13 years in IT, and I started as a system analyst, and then I progressed my career through the business analysis, and I recently transitioned into the product management. So I'm here to answer any questions you have with regards to how to transition into product management, what it is a product management. So any stupid questions, any dummy questions you were hesitating to ask, just take your coffee, relax, and ask us questions about product management. Thank you.
Yeah,
And business
great.
analysis.
And business analysis, exactly.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, guys. And I'll say a couple of words about our rules today and our tools as well. So regarding to rules, we speak English today, and while you don't speak, please mute yourself. If you want to ask something, you have your opinion or something like that, please raise your hand using Zoom functionality that will be introduced a little bit later. Please respect others in whatever terms, and I'd like to provide this session with keeping track of time and so on. So don't worry if I interrupt you in some way. Regarding to the apps we'll use today, it is Zoom, and with the participants functionality, we do have there some actions. So please check if you have this button on the bottom of your Zoom screen. Once you opened it, you will see this bar with the actions, and we will require just three of them. Raise hand, that was mentioned a little bit earlier, and yes, no answers. So, and now, please, if you found it, please say yes or no. Yes, for sure. I will check it if.
And Pavel, to clarify, and also on YouTube, they cannot use these buttons, right? They just
Yeah,
need to listen in.
Exactly. Yeah, only in Zoom for active participants. Yeah, I see their yes answers. Thank you. I'll clear them. Yeah, so moving forward to the Trello, which will be used as our main activity tool. You saw this QR code and this short link, which will bring you to this board. If you joined it already, please stay there, keep it opened. If you didn't add your topic yet, please add one and wait for instructions, because there will be a couple of those activities that I introduced in the link coffee process diagram. So is anybody here who didn't add his topic? If yes, please vote yes in the participant list. So we've got time to add some topics.
And Pavel, there is a bit of delay on YouTube, I can see, so maybe just give it another minute for those who are on YouTube channel to log in into Trello and provide questions.
Okay. So yeah, and while we join in the board, I will switch to Trello as well. We have this board here. It looks, we've got, I guess, 13 cards, 13 topics, 13 questions. So yeah, if we have one more. No.
Yeah, those are good questions. So keep posting, people. We want to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, I will give you 2 minutes for that, so everybody here see this board, I hope, and we'll then add functionality for voting and so on.
Can I pose a few questions to Maxim here?
Why not?
Okay.
I'm gonna like dislike them. Is that the rule?
Let's see what others will say.
Yeah, and I'd like to introduce how to do it. We have this list here with topics. Just click this add another card and type your question. For example, what is product management? I think we won't answer this question, but it looks like that.
Or you can ask like, what did you put in your coffee today?
Yeah. So yeah, and you can add another question. Anna, join us. So yeah, I hope this is it, and we can proceed with that. Now we archive this info list, so we could add in other functionality. I will add some our automation into it. I will also archive our lists. So we could move that way. And now this is time for voting. Yeah, we will have 2 minutes to vote for voting. I will study you how to do it with our functionality on this board. Let me check if it's, yeah, it's added. So please go through all the topics and give your vote for most interested ones. Every person who joined this board has 6 votes, so please be careful while you discovering these topics and vote like for most interested questions for you. We have not more than 2 minutes, so please start voting. Now I show you how to do it. You open the card you most like, and here you have a vote button. So just click it, and then we will get like votes here with hearts, and then we sort them out by the most voted ones. I won't vote myself. Please, 2 minutes for doing that. We've got 4 topics more. Yeah, that's great.
I'm quickly voting for all questions for Nikolai, so I can be quiet entire meeting.
You have only 6 votes. So.
Don't be too fast because we have like 120 seconds. It is pretty big amount of time, so yeah, don't go quick. Half time is up. Keep voting, please.
Yeah, Pavel, I'm not sure if we clearly explain the format. So the idea is that once we select the question, then one of us, either me or Maxim, will start answering the question, but we will ask others to join us, right? To provide
Yeah,
their opinion.
exactly. Yeah. So let's make it like a discussion, not just like round table
It's not
answering.
an interview. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I see pretty many votes on certain questions. That's great. Keep voting. We have 20 seconds. Yeah, and now time is ticking away, and I ask you to stop voting, even if you don't didn't finish. And yeah, thank you so much for your votes. Now we sort them by most voted number of votes, and I will select I guess 10 or like so. So we get 10 topics because we won't have enough time to discuss them all. So yeah, we have 5 and 10, yeah, and we'll move them to this the second section, and we'll start the discussion. Now they're moving to the right column.
So while Pavel is moving, I
Yep.
just wanted to clarify for everybody. We're gonna try to answer. So it's gonna be like a 5-minute per question, but we're gonna try to answer. But we encourage you to have the conversation. So especially those who are on Zoom meeting, if you would like to, vocalize your question or have a follow-up, don't hesitate to do so.
Thank you, Maxim. Yeah, that's what I forgot to say. Yeah, about time box. So yeah, let's start with the most voted question. It is.
Yeah.
I'll start the
So
timer. Yeah. How often
how often
product manager role is requested by EPAM customers? How do you evaluate the perspectives of this competency?
Okay. So given that, we have some people on a call not from EPAM. So for EPAM, the product management competency on itself is relatively new. We're about probably 1 year old as we established it as a competency, even though a lot of us been doing it for quite a while. So that said, EPAM customers not very often request directly for product manager. Occurrences when they know when they have established IT say department and they understand they lack the capacity on certain work streams, so they would say we'd love to have a product manager. For most engagements that I've been on that I have experienced in is that we propose a product manager and we explain the benefits of having such on a work stream. And those usually go well. Like most of our proposals went well, and customers agreed to have product manager. It is a trending work stream right now, so it's relatively easy to sell the need in product management. Does that make sense? So is there any follow-up question to this?
I can add a few things from BA perspective. So yeah, we define here, let's say, product manager as a role, but in general, yeah, probably not a lot of customers explicitly ask for product manager, but pretty much all the customers, or most of them, needs some BA with product-oriented mindset. So this is more and more demanded currently because, I mean, the customers started to understand that it's not enough to have project, right? They want to have some workable product. That's why this product-oriented people really needed. Yes, they might not call this person product manager explicitly. They might request different role, but by the end of the day, as a EPAM, yeah, we are trying to get to this. We're trying to educate customers that actually, yeah, this role actually called product manager, and that activity is required to be done in order to be successful. You as an organization that want to produce successful product. So I mean, yeah, this is kind of think from business analyst perspective. It means that from business analyst perspective, we're also trying to be more product oriented.
And that's true. I support what Nikolai says. It's often that I try to find BAs in my team, and the way we interview BAs is rather different than for typical software project. So we try to find that product mindset. So anybody on Zoom who'd like to follow up on this or comment, or maybe tell your story how your company treats product management.
Yeah, because from
Oleg, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to add to said that my client totally asks for product oriented mindset as well, even if we are all BAs on my project. The point is that there is a never-ending long-term product development project, and you're adding some features here and there, and client requests us to be like a small product manager for the particular feature, and you need some product skill set to follow the feature from the requirement solicitation stage to the delivery of this feature and to its merge into the whole client's product.
Yeah, we sometimes call it feature owner. Yeah, I mean it's kind of the way
Yeah.
how to decompose the work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I know a few
just
successful.
to keep in mind, sorry for interrupting you, Nikolai. While feature owners to product owners, it's something that was always relevant, and we're still looking for such individuals. Product management is slightly on a different edge of skill set, so to say. So there's going to be a couple of questions I see that going to address, like what is a product manager and what specific skill set we're looking in. So yeah, I mean, it's still needed. It's a trend, and companies looking for product managers.
Yeah, because I know a few successful stories in EPAM when people actually started as a feature owners or product owners, and then eventually promoted to product managers because trust was growing from customer side. Yeah, it takes time because the customer really has to trust us, right? Because product management is not only about backlog management, it's about finances, it's about organization, it's about working with different departments, and sometimes it takes time just to have such kind of trust from customer side. Yeah, it's about just in general perspectives.
Yeah, thanks, Nikolai. Time is up for this topic, and I encourage the audience who are with us on Zoom and YouTube, please open this card like did I. So just click on this card and vote. If we proceed with that, clicking yes, and no will say us to move to the next topic. So please vote. Are we only 4 here? Yeah, it's pretty interesting topic because I attended the product management competency roundtable today, and it was pretty interesting. Where there were several product managers from around the world, and it was pretty interesting discussion. So it's like a topic that is very interesting. Yeah, but we will move to the next from which says us a little bit about BAs. So please, Nikolai, if you would like to share tricks and tips and tricks for on-site discovery, even in this time.
Yeah, because I believe discovery is probably most excited part of the project for BAs, but it's in most cases, I mean, it's very difficult to do it in right way. So, I mean, in terms of tricks and tips, just from, let's say, overall perspective, what is most important from my perspective is to be prepared. It means that to be prepared in terms of knowledge of customer, what customer might need, and what customer actually requested, and focus on these things, and also be sure that actually you have enough background about the domain in general and business in general, and also to plan it very carefully. Plan, I mean, really understand how you are going to spend your time on discovery in efficient manner. But at the same time, you really need to be prepared that things will not go on plan. And it always happens. I mean, yeah, you have to plan it very carefully, but be ready that something goes wrong. And usually something goes wrong on discovery because, and this is kind of good thing that if during discovery, you will discover something that was not anticipated before. It usually happens, and I mean, if you do your discovery in the right way, it will happen, and then you need to be flexible enough to rearrange your plans. And yeah, and regarding planning, what is important that you also communicate your plans properly to customer, that actually customer also plan it on their side in terms of have right people and provide the right resources, and they also should understand importance of discovery, because actually results of discovery are inputs for the whole project, right? So that's why it's very important to do it in I would say in good way, to have enough information for decisions, because yeah, the result of discovery will dictate the decisions, if even if project should be started by the end of the day, and if it should be started in the way as it was planned before. So in terms of small tricks, what is important from my perspective, yeah, if you're talking about workshops, let's say session during discovery, it's very important to, again, to have right people from customer side there. From your side, I have such experience that you always should have at least two persons there. One is facilitator, one is someone who document everything, because yeah, there is no way that, because what is important on discovery is actually to document as much as possible. I mean, just because you don't know at this point of time what information will be useful for you, what is not. So you cannot really filter it just ad hoc. So you really need to document as much as possible. And if it's possible, if it's also kind of supported by customer, good practice also to record the sessions, either online sessions, or if you have something in face-to-face, probably to have some video recordings, because in most cases such information very valuable during implementation phase. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things to say about discovery.
Yeah.
I want to add a couple of things
yeah,
here
Maxim,
from
go ahead.
so first of all, discovery is to me is a very startup mindset, right? What we do daily do of like creating backlogs, doing stories, grooming, all this stuff, it's completely different when we go in discovery. It's not the same mindset, and it's startup, meaning it's not about set up in the right processes. It's about getting quickly to the value, to the need of a client, and trying to make them an offer, or transition into build phase, whatever the goals of your discovery. So so try to think differently when you transition into discovery phase, and it's always an uncomfortable place for us, because we most of the time we spend on just building the products. So we usually on a build design phases. We rarely end up on discoveries. So that said, discovery is a place to ask stupid questions. Like you know nothing about customers, they know nothing about you. So like if they delivered you 1 hour of presentation and you just pretending like you understood everything, like that's bad way of doing that. Like don't pretend. Ask stupid questions about like, what do you mean by that? Like what does that abbreviation mean? Like what do you expect us to do with this? Like I mean, don't harass them, don't be offensive to a customer, but it's exactly that period when you can ask any questions without hesitation.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you, Maxim.
Yeah, I agree. And but from my perspective, the good practice also one of the trick, instead of asking questions sometimes, just to explain your view on it, because people usually more open to correct you if you are wrong rather than answer your question. So it's also, I mean, if you know something, rather provide some case how you see it, and then you will be correct during the discovery, rather than just asking question, okay, how it works on your side. So
yeah, that's a great addition. So yeah, again, time is up, and if we want to proceed with that topic, I see it for me personally pretty interesting, and yeah, maybe more discussable, but yeah, you vote. We've got 5, 6 votes on that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we will proceed with another one. Thank you.
we either very boring or we provide very comprehensive answers. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
or other questions are interesting as well.
Let's try to make answers shorter. Maybe some follow-ups will, maybe some
got it.
of us, will came up with them. So yeah, I will stop this discussion and we'll take another one. And here we are with 5 critical competencies a BA should develop to become a product manager. Who would like to start with that?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, great.
That's a very interesting question. So product manager on itself is I would say a broader skill set, broader competencies than a BA. We do roughly like 60% of our skill set is what BAs does, right? And another 40 is that's where the question is. And I would say specifically, especially in EPAM, we classify product manager as a management track, and that requires a lot of soft skills from you. BA already has a lot of soft skills. We already talk a lot. We present some time, right? We conduct meetings with dev team, QA team. This is much more. You're going to be orchestrating all work streams. You're going to be orchestrating your work with delivery management, with potentially business consultancy. I don't know, with hardwire team who built something. So it's a next level of soft skills. Now, the other thing I'd mention is probably the knowledge of UX on a broader spectrum, not just design of interface, but what is considered to be user experience. And that's anything from hardware all the way to software experiences. Because as a product manager, you're going to be leveraging your UX team, UX leads, to create a better product, to design a better product. And you need to know how to put to use their artifacts, their processes. You need to know what UX team typically bring to the table, and how you can put it to use and transform it into better product, right? The next competency, which is it's kind of obvious, it's a project management side of things, because product manager orchestrates a lot. Think of you need to invent a new iPhone, right? And use the number one guy who sits there and like, hey, I'm gonna manage this product. I want to create iPhone. Go and you create a team, and you're gonna get a delivery manager who's gonna manage it with you. Often, a lot of activities you need to manage yourself. It's meetings, it's activities, it's again charts of like how to get there, right? A lot of artifacts that we deliver requires a lot of project management skill sets. So that's number 3. The other important aspect is, which is kind of hard to explain and comprehend quickly, but I'd call it emotional intelligence. And I'd probably even classify it as having an empathy to your users and needs. And empathy is like, I hope the Russian-speaking audience understands this word, or it's like you need to love what the problems of your customers, right? That's the empathy. And it's often a mistake that I, especially as a BA, did in my past. Like, hey, I know, you don't need that button. I know the priorities. That is much more important function there. It's gonna do that fancy stuff for you. But like, hey, if I'm selling you phone and like it has that fancy camera screen, but you tell me you don't like button, I have to empathize. I have to have empathy to you that the button is the critical point to you, right? So you're probably not gonna buy anything from me if I don't solve your problem. And if many users have a particular problem, even though you think it's not critical, you better change your priorities, because the users now dictates your priorities for product of what you build. I have 5th one to add, right? And this is a very broad question. So, let's say data. In fact, let me say it's more than 5, right? So I'm just picking. I'm sneaking on my screen here. It's much more than 5. But data, being make a decision based on the data, right? You cannot just assume, I think camera is the most important thing on phones right now. You cannot assume that just because that's your opinion, or maybe it's opinion of other folks on your team. You have to have a data behind your decisions. You have to see how product is being used. You have to see what are the trends, what is the market statistics on certain things, right? So all your decisions, every time you make a decision, this story has to be higher in a backlog and it should go in the next release. You have to be at that point when every story you make a decision upon is driven by data. that you saw your users actually using this functionality more often, and use a lot of prioritization frameworks to address that. So I don't know if that's top 5. That's the 5 that I have in my head given the time frame of this answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those 5 competencies or skills we have here is pretty enough to decide if it's difficult to grow as a product manager from BA competency. But yeah, I just posted here, and yeah. Should we proceed with that topic, because yeah, Maxim took all this time because this topic is pretty broad, as he said. Please vote in this frame. Will we use the same
So
feature?
answering shortly is not a competency for product manager.
Yeah.
Provide short answers. Okay.
Maybe next question will be about business analysis.
It's not a competency for business analysts for sure, because we have to talk a lot.
You have 4 votes here. Please don't close your board and take part in our activities here. Open this card in this discussion column. All right, I've got 4 no's for this card, and we'll end the discussion. So guys, be prepared for next one. Yeah, and we have here another topic. Have you seen a successful transition to product management role from non-IT roles?
So I can probably take first
yeah,
30 seconds of it, and then maybe Nikolai can add something. So if you decompose product manager as a role, there is a marketing product manager, there is a broader IT product manager, and a technical product manager. So in EPAM, we're talking mostly about last 2. We have few marketing product managers, but that's probably where this question is targeted. And marketing product managers are not about creating the technology of a product, not creating the backlog of a product, releases, roadmaps, and so on and so forth. It's more about creating a good marketing advertisement and everything included into the marketing aspect of a product, right? So if you think of Apple as a company, they very marketing oriented. So I would suspect they pay much more to marketing product managers. So that's where you don't need a lot of IT knowledge. The regular product manager, though, still possess a lot of soft skills or manager skills, right? So you do need to learn about IT. I think it's fine if you didn't have education in IT. You might be lagging a little comparing to other product managers that had that education and experience. But it's still a lot about orchestrating various aspects of creating a product. It's almost like a gigantic checklist that you need to go through in order to make product live. And it's about managing that checklist, basically.
Yeah, thanks, Maxim.
Yeah,
Nikolai,
just to add to, yeah, I agree. Just to add to this product manager role was there long before IT appeared. I mean, product manager is not something that was invented by IT. It just now finally people in IT recognize that we are working not with project but with the product as well, and it's very important to have someone who manages these products and who actually consider the product as a whole. I mean, in general, yes, that's why if you're working on an IT project, then you should have some kind of IT understanding how it works in order to be product manager. But to be product manager in general, you can be product manager not only in IT but in other industries as well. So that's why.
Yes, and maybe from our audience, there are some other opinions or follow-up questions. Because, for example, I thought that product manager is a person who are very deep into business and marketing, as Maxim said, and also he or she should know about software software development life cycle, or I'm wrong?
I think
Maxim?
you're right, and you sneaking into next question. I can see on your board about how much
Oh,
of a business
oh
person
no.
the product manager is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're gonna be, if you don't have an IT education or you never played IT roles, it's gonna be hard for you at the beginning, because if you're trying to create a software product, you need to know something about software. But you will do it. I mean, I've seen a lot of product managers on my courses with whom I learned the product management, who were not from IT, and it was harder for them, but they managed, and they working as a product managers.
Great. Thank for the comment. Yeah, I see this question now. So guys, do you have something to add, or do we just can stop this discussion and proceed with the next?
Yeah,
I
I would say let's
pause.
proceed.
Yeah, I will pause, and if you don't want to, to stay here, let's go further. Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll end this discussion. Yeah, we've done 4 for now.
Nice job.
And another topic, sorry, how deep should a product manager go into a business area and or market? So yeah, we partly
So
discussed it. Yeah, Maxim,
yeah, I
please.
think we're also gonna split this with Nikolai. I was not really ready for this question, but product manager does a lot of market research and client and your users, customers research, right? So if I'd like to create a new water bottle, I need to go and research market, which is a part of a business activity. I need to see what are competitors, what are my other bottles have been sold for, what is the price, what is their specific features. Then I need to know a lot about my specific audience, and we use this term of targeted audience, like because the market is full of water bottles in my example, like which specific individuals cannot find the type of water bottles that they need to when they go to Amazon, right? And they just end up buying something. So that's the targeted audience that I want to use to build my product upon, because they definitely gonna buy it from me if I advertise correctly. That said, specifically in a PAM as an outsourcing company, we don't get too often to research market, and it doesn't mean we don't get that opportunity. We do. I specifically, I think I had a few times to do that, but comparing to just like building a product, that happens more often for us in a PAM, because when clients hire us, they often responsible for their own strategy, and they have the departments who does a lot of market research and a lot of business research. So we just usually jump on top of that data. But I mean, the short answer is we need to know business area. We need to know domain. Like if I'm currently working in healthcare, I need to know healthcare to be successful here. And if I had to build iPhones, I had to know the mobile devices market. So it's probably, for EPAM specifically, it's probably 30 to 40% of your competency is a business guy. On other companies such as Amazon, Google, who basically owns product end to end, it's probably more than that. I would say it's maybe even 50 to 60%, because the better research, the more successful you are with your product. Yeah. So Nikolai, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree, but we also probably need to keep in mind that you might be product manager who are doing product or creating product for organizations internally, for some internal product, and it's not necessary to go to market to understand the value of this product. I mean, in general, yeah. If we are discussing what is more important, IT or knowledge of business for product manager, IT product manager, yeah, I would say both, but probably rather. I think so. Most important thing for product manager to understand the value, right? The value of the product. That regarding technical part, other people might be more, let's say, professional in this, like solution architects, people who can help product manager to find the right technical solution. But from business perspective, for sure, product manager should understand the value of the product, even if he or she doesn't have direct connection with the market, right? So some other people might make a research, but product manager should understand what value this specific feature, the specific product brings to users and to organization as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah. Okay.
So Pavel, we're trying to be shorter on our answers.
Yeah, that's great. We have
I'm trying to be faster.
1 minute and 15 seconds to just check if we have some follow-up questions. Yeah, that's great, guys.
Yeah, anyone else who, I believe that because there might be very different opinions about this, and it's a good question.
Yeah, because I also attended some conferences and webinars and so on with regarding to this competency, and I heard different opinions about that. And when I'm thinking about switching to this competency from a BA competency, I think how deep should I go into business area if I don't there yet to be effective for a customer, for my company, and so on. So this is a question. So yeah, there are a lot of opinions.
Yeah, and while you switch into voting, I'm just gonna and the note here is that we often see on like Kickstarters, like a guy who just like ended up creating a new custom wallet or a belt or some sort of device because he just like I'm tired of this stupid wallet that I just don't work for me, right? And that's a good example of like he knows the market, he knows the business, he's seen all of the wallets out there, and he knows specific problem with all of them that he wants to solve with his particular option.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the ways I'm looking at this.
Yeah. So guys, time is up for that topic. Let's vote one more time whether we proceed with that or no, and we'll take another one. It was, I guess it was the 5th one. Yeah.
So I see business analysis is not popular anymore. All our questions about
product management goes ahead. So yeah, please one more vote for this topic, and somebody added to question to not. Let's treat it as no. Okay, I will move it here. Somebody added a topic here.
Yeah, we can cover that with the next question, like on how to get into.
Okay, yeah. So let's start with that one. Product management, learning, and where one should start with.
Yep. So
I'm sorry.
I mean, just I mean, it's a stupid answer, but just go Google product management courses, right? That's the easiest way to start with anything. And when I was at that point where I thought like, hey, I'm a good business analyst, do I have enough skill set to transition into product management? What I did is just I Googled for courses to see, to see the agenda on them and participate in one and see what kind of competencies they talk about to understand how good I'm covering it, right? So there are a couple of courses. If you just want a sneak peek and understand if that's for you, there are courses for like $10 that you can attend, and they don't necessarily have to be in Russia or in any country. You can easily attend online education from like any university in the world, which is very accessible right now. You can pick Harvard and attend as long as you have money to pay for it, right, online. So there are courses that are very cheap, and they kind of will let you understand if that's for you, if this guy who is talking for you on this cheap course is saying things that is interesting for you. I personally attended a course at Cornell University in New York. It's a very good university, and Cornell, and they have a very extensive course which took probably, if I'm not wrong, 6 or 7 weeks of constantly graded assessment of like how I'm progressing. And they covered like almost end-to-end everything in product management. So there were things which I was like, yeah, as a BA, that's just stupid course. I know this. But there were points that like, you know, I wasn't aware of, and I actually learned and studied them. Yeah, so Nikolai suggesting Udemy. It's one of the places where cheap courses for product management exists, and they're relatively good. So so yeah, my advice is find online course, listen to it, start with the cheaper ones, and see if that's for you. And if you decide it is for you, go invest into yourself, pick a better course, and get certification or something. Nikolai, you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I passed few courses on udemy.com. They're quite good. I mean, they're not very, I would say, comprehensive, but at least they, in terms of broad coverage, they cover competency in general. And yeah, but it's a good start. And if you find some specific area, because as Maxim mentioned already, product manager is a very broad area. So once you understand what competency you missed, what skill you need to learn, then you can go and learn this specific skill, right? But in turn, just to understand what is product manager about, yeah, you can start pretty much with any course on udemy.com or any other resource just to understand what it's all about. And a lot of good articles around, right? So just Google it, read some article, and then you can go into details.
Yeah, thank you guys for sharing the URLs of the courses and platforms where our listeners could enroll their training courses and so on. So yeah, that's a great start, I guess.
And I've seen courses from like all the way from $10 all the way up to $15,000 per course. So it really depends on your qualification. If they take a lot of money, there is a reason why they take a lot of money. You definitely don't need to go and apply for 15K course, even though you have money, if you never learned about product management, because most probably it's going to be too hard for you and you're just going to quit it. So the higher price usually means the higher level of understanding the subject area you need to have in order to get to that course. And certification, like a lot, so saying the Cornell universities, they give you certificate at the end if you pass everything successfully. That will let you to basically apply for product management job. I don't know how about other countries. Here in US, if you just come and say I have I'm a certified product manager and it has a label of relatively known university, they're gonna ask you questions, but it's like a first step to success. You're saying I have this certificate.
And guys, if I ask you, do we have something at EPAM internally for for our specialists to grow in advance, like in that in this question, do we have something internally? Yeah, again.
So good question. We used to have in EPAM the product management university. I honestly, right now, I just don't have an answer if it's still a working university and working course in EPAM. I know it's ever attempts to resurrect it and run it on a full throttle, but yeah, if you're in EPAM, just go to courses, speak to your resource managers. They'll figure out something for you. A lot of smaller courses being created because, as I mentioned on the beginning, we're relatively new to product management in EPAM as a competency. But yeah.
Yeah, and we have in EPAM we have multiple channels. For example, we have Yammer multiple channels to exchange information. We have Yammer, where we have groups for BAs and product managers. And there are people post a lot of resources about internal courses, external courses, books, articles, whatever. So just subscribe and you will get all this.
And may I add, please, that like Kharkiv and Kiev launch product management courses right now. It's like first launch, and I hope that these courses will be continue later. So it's very practical course where guys from idea create step by step like something like product.
Yeah,
And
and Alicia, can you share the link for our audience to follow,
yeah,
or
I
just
maybe add it to cart. Yeah.
yeah?
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I also will add few more links to this question.
Yeah, and guys, I have to go to the final part because we have only 2 minutes left. Thank you so much for these answers. We've covered yeah, 6 topics. They were pretty distant each other, but yeah, uh, I hope it helps our audience. So let me switch to the deck, and one more word about the communities at platform. So please go to these discussion section to ask us about link coffee format, and if you want to ask something regarding to the competencies, product management, consulting, business analysis, and so on, please go to the competency booths where our experts will be able to address your questions. And we encourage you to leave feedback. You can follow to the talks page and just vote there on the bottom. And again, thank you all for coming. The recording will be available later on YouTube and shared with you. This deck will be also available if it's needed. Yeah, and here you have direct links that we've used today, and also you can even improve your knowledge about link coffee format and so on. So thank you, Maxim, Nikolai. Thank you, guys, for coming, for joining us today.
Thanks
And
everybody for questions. Very interesting questions indeed. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
yeah, thank you. So yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
I will stop sharing. Yeah.
Bye.